Mind training is important. What kind of a mind training should a student aim for?
Ramaraja is not about 100% consensus. Every human being to work to enhance their own cognitive self. Supramental or the Sanatana Sri Vidya sadhanas, they are fantastic for cognitive building and growth. 15 to 30 minutes a day, if you concentrate and work with yourself, you can experience at least 10x improvement in your cognitive capabilities.
There are many students who actually are confused in terms of where should I figure it out? What should I work as for building my own capability? It is like they know that I need to build capability, but then it comes to being specific about like which is the area that I need to work on. So that is where the confusion all boils down to, and many a times they do not find that source to identify, okay, how can I do? Mind training is important. What kind of a mind training should a student aim for?
See, I'll just extend the example that I was trying to give, the gym example. Even successful, people, bodybuilders, they also have coaches to build their body. In the same fashion, you have to understand one thing. You already have the six pack, you have a very perfect body, but still you continue to have this trainer who will train you continuously, who may not have a six pack, but he will train you. That happens. For example, successful cricket players, Kohli and all, they still have a coach, right? The same fashion. What am I trying to tell you is, a mind that has limitations or challenges cannot introspect on its own self. You can't scrutinize your own self. For that, what you need is an external help, but not again conditioned and a structured system. Now, what is happening? Student will say, I want to grow, how to do mind training. They seek advice from whom? Is the question. Specifically, then psychologists come in. Psychologists talk about things that are almost impractical, and they talk about medicines, which is very wrong actually. The truth is, cognitive sciences are not developed to such an extent that these kind of things are available. But the ancient systems of Sri Vidya and other higher formats of supramental processes have developed, because I always say this, thousands of years ago, people looted one temple 18 times and still there was wealth remaining. That much wealth India created. We were a country where diamonds were sold on streets. So what kind of a country with an abundance, would sell diamonds on streets? And imagine the level of abundance. Now that is possible through every human being, that is what they say, Ramaraja, all that. Ramaraja is not about 100% consensus. It's also about every human being striving hard to work to enhance their own cognitive self. Fundamentally, I'll tell you one thing. There is a guy who is having 100 crores. Is he rich? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there is a guy who has 200 crores. There is a guy who has 300 crores. There is a guy who has 1,000 crores. There is a guy who has 10, 15, 20, 30 lakh crores. Yeah. So what about that? Now, I am trying to tell you one thing. If you really go to a 30 lakh crore guy and say, why are you starting a new business? Then what will he tell? It's not about money anymore. It's about, I can do it and I am doing it to figure out that I can do it. Now, people who continuously work hard to that 1% club, people who try to work to enhance their cognition, how to do that? First, you need to remove your, see in business also they say, unlearning is the best way to learn.
Right.
People who continuously are ready to unlearn the age-old processes, and ready to absorb, find out, figure out within the power within them to enhance their own self. Supramental or the Sanatana Sri Vidya sadhanas, they are fantastic for cognitive building and growth. 15 to 30 minutes a day, if you concentrate and work with yourself in supramental neurocognitive techniques, you can experience at least 10x improvement in your cognitive capabilities within just for 6 months. But this can only happen for people who are hungry to grow. The truth is, what really happens is, when you go to any success, competence, capability finding, the student is so overwhelmed with the 96 cutoff mark that stress, that 96 is continuously hitting his mind. I have to get there, I have to get there, I have to get there, or I have to get that exam, I have to get that exam, I have to get that exam. That stress is making them unaware of their own powers. So first, that supramental process, first concentrate. That is the reason why I insist on, first I will make you stress free, and then I will improve cognition. From the day one, if you want cognition, it won't happen. Stress free academic excellence is what I insist upon for every student. Why? Because first, whatever you are learning, first you must, it doesn't matter if you are getting 60, 70, 80%, it doesn't matter 90, 95, it doesn't matter. Most important thing is, you should get those marks that you are getting, or you should understand, you should do what you're doing with first ease. Happiness, you should be happy, you should be blissful, and you should be excited. Wow, today I'm going to do complex things, I'm going to learn this, I'm going to learn that. You should be excited. Should not be, wow, I have to clear the exam, and so this I have to study, and it's so hard. That stress should first go. Or else, the expectation pressure. Everybody expects you when you get 90. Everybody, when you go, everybody do well, this time get more.
Right.
That expectation pressure also, first you should, that will be there. People will always expect out of you more. But that's what, in cricketers, when you work all your life in cricket, batting, you do all your life, you do batting. By the time 30, 25, whatever, that age you become international cricketer. You are in the stadium and people clap for you to do the same thing that you have been doing, hit the ball, and then you are pressured.
Right.
So, a successful guy is a guy who knows how to depressurize himself.
Right.
De-stress himself first. And then also continuously increase their capability and competency. So these are the steps. So how can they begin? First, by stress-free. Stress should be totally released out of them.
Right.
Next, expectation pressure should be not felt. You should depressurize yourself. You should not be having that, what if I don't clear that exam? You should have a conviction that, it's so easy, I can. Unfortunately, people who don't clear the exam are more having confidence than the people who have studied well.
Right.
You notice?
Yes.
People who don't get admission in one entrance exam after 12th, they apply for 5-6 entrance exams. There are students who have studied really hard and they have applied only for 1 or 2. And they are tensed and nervous that will I crack? And they will be the toppers.
Right.
The guy who is applying for 5, 6, 7 entrance exams, he is relaxed, he is enjoying. First, that expectation pressure. Because this guy doesn't have, why a guy who has not studied so well, but still 5 exams, and why he is not stressed naturally? We call it as, pressure.
Right.
He himself don't actually expect him to crack all the exams. Parents also don't expect. Everybody knows they are trying the luck and hitting the, So they know they are trying. So there is no expectation pressure. So they are very stress free. What I say is, a student who has studied very well is unfortunately suffering stress of studying hard, working hard, and expectation pressure.
Right.
These two, if this student who has studied very well, if they don't have, at least 60% they will do better.
Wow.
Because a guy who has really worked hard, in that pressure, he's forgetting, maybe I will forget, maybe I will not perform well. How will I perform? That kind of things that is the reason why they say, oh, I know everything, but I forgot that. That one thing I forgot. I knew that also. What makes you forget that one thing when you are writing a whole answer is, one of the things is this, your own personal expectation, pressure and stress.